As of now, I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say that the manufacturing sector, while on its journey of recovering from the side effects of the pandemic, is now reimagining process, updating operations, and building resiliency. To discuss in detail the journey of how India can create manufacturing excellence, we have a panel discussion. And the topic is Factories of the Future, Building Manufacturing Excellence.
Let's try giving a shape or structure to the factory of the future. So what will it look like with respect to transformation from the current canvas, right? And vis-a-vis 5, 10, 15 years from now? Mr. Chunodkar?
What I will look at, for the next 5 to 10 years, we have to look at different factors inside the factory. One is the decision making, how the decision making is going to change. Today, the decision making is based on the, I can say that, based on the experience of the people. Now we are moving towards more database decision making. And you see the data, you analyze the data, and then you give the decision. Now, after 10 years, what I see is that data is going to take the decision for you. Another thing is on the employees' part. Today, we have, very specific, roles and responsibilities of the employees. Going forward, more and more jobs will be lost after 10 years. And then you have, instead of operators, you have more supervisors.
Amol?
In the way I look at it is, more often than not, and again, if I just go back and when I started my career till now, always there was a challenge to find the single source of truth. It used to take maybe minutes, hours, days or weeks or month to find out information which everybody agrees and say, okay, yes, this is what the right information. And if I look at the whole digital transformation journey, all those informations now available on a single click of button. But if I just look at more from more manufacturing or supply chain domain to more from my customer side or the product side of it, like the kind of things we talk about is the digital twin, where what is happening to our product in the air, sitting in the office, we are able to find out how that product is performing, what kind of analytics can I do to find out what I need to repair or refurbish or rework when and what point of time when the product is coming back for the service. So all those things are like bringing in more and more visibility, faster decision making, and I'm sure it is simplifying the life.
Vasant?
Just going back into the 150 years of lubrication, where we are there, the journey is that, not much of the equipments or machineries have changed, but it has evolved. So the size of a hydraulic systems or a gearboxes, it has shrunk over time, which has actually led to the output required is much different, much higher, but at the same time, we have the input, the energy which is required is need to be much lower. So when we see this evaluation or transformation of the equipment, per se, the stress on the product like us, like basically the lubricant product, is enormous. And we are seeing this change will keep happen going forward into the future. The equipments, machineries become more smarter. It requires a much better productivity output, but at the same time, it has to go with the lesser input. So when we develop our molecules towards it, we try to see how this change can be adapted and how it can lead to a better efficiency going forward.
That's great to hear. And just to continue or circle back to the people aspect, right? And, the human element is still needed to run this factory of the future, right? So it would be very interesting to understand the panel's perspectives in terms of, the key skills required, the key human skills required, to run the factory or run the factory of the future.
We need to be able to have a skilled workforce that is able to adapt. People thought robotics or automation would replace people. No, it really actually caused people to take on higher value-added roles and responsibilities. And then to do that, they need to be able to upskill. And as they upskill, they need to know that they're able to add greater value as they go. And the last comment I'll make is that I think one of our great strengths here in India is the level of diversity we have. And so we, or Todd, our partner, initiated a women's apprenticeship program. And so they reached out to women in remote villages and gave them an opportunity through an apprenticeship program. And it's mentoring, it's on-the-job training, and then move up, and now they're supervisors on the floor. And by doing that, I think we tap into the much greater strength that we have here in India, the diversity across the nation and the employee base. We need that to be able to continue to advance our skills.
Mr. Chatterjee.
And to me, automation actually doesn't eliminate jobs, okay? What we do with automation, so I will give a little example of what we did in Cummins. And about 10 years back, 12 years back, we decided to set up a mega site, which is about 100 kilometers from here, a place called Fulton. Now, Fulton is predominantly a rural background. There were no industry before we went there. We set up the Cummins factories, which are state-of-the-art diesel engine manufacturing factories with all the latest technologies. For example, we had the Salt Aprizo MES system from day one, full functional. We had cobots, we had welding robo, we had repentant robo. And I guess you must all be knowing that in government of Maharashtra, you have to hire 70% from the local population. So that was a challenge. So we had a population who were mostly villagers with mostly agricultural background, and we have to set up a factory and get going with all the latest technology. And we are supposed to be the best in class in the Cummins history, in the Cummins circuit of almost 44 plants. 2 years we spent just training and coaching our employees. But with automation, we have not reduced the headcount. What we have done is actually eliminated the losses which happen when you go pure manual. So what automation does is eliminates inefficiency, improves quality, improves productivity. It literally, if you do it properly, it doesn't need to eliminate human being, because we also need to keep in mind that in India, providing employment is also a responsibility for the industry.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for a very engaging discussion.